Hello and welcome to a new tutorial about Conifer Electronics tools. Today I'm going to talk about installing the MCell Python library and about setting up license for the MCell Python library. Regarding installation, first you need to install the desired Python environment, if not already installed, and activate it. For example, here I'm using Python 3.14. Then you need to download MCell and unpack it to a desired folder. I will now unpack the downloaded release here. This is how it looks when unpacked. Now navigate to this folder in the shell. Then navigate to the subfolder PyLinux or PyWin, depending on whether you are using Linux or Windows. Here I'm using Windows, so I go to the PyWin folder. There, MCell wheels for supported Python versions are stored. Install the MCell wheel for the desired Python version by using pip install like this. With this, MCell is installed, and the next step is obtaining and activating the MCell license. Keep in mind that if at some point you want to update the MCell version, first you need to uninstall the current version. For that you need to type pip uninstall and then the wheel name in an analogous way as done here. Now let's continue with the MCell license. The first step is to determine the host ID for your machine. This can be done in two ways. One way is to use the executable file mhostid. You can find this file in the license folder you obtain after unpacking MCell. There you need to navigate to the corresponding subfolder depending on whether you are using Windows or Linux. In my case, it's in the Win folder. This is the mhostid executable file. Calling the executable file without arguments would only display the host ID on the screen. Here you can see the host ID. Using -f and then adding the file path and name as an argument would additionally save the host ID information in the specified file. For example, if I do this, I will get the host ID information in this file. On Linux, this works the same way, just that the executable file doesn't have the .exe extension under Linux. The other way is to run a Python script using print host ID and write host ID to file functions. So I prepared a small Python script, which I will now copy to our folder. Here it is. We can see that the script only imports the MCell Python library and then calls these two functions. Print host ID would display the host ID on the screen, and write host ID to file would write the host ID to the file the path of which is specified as an argument of the function. So if I run this script, You can see the host ID information on the screen, and the host ID text file is generated. We can also see it here. You can choose any of those two ways to determine the host ID. The important thing is to generate this file containing your host ID and then send it to Conifer Electronics so that we can provide you with the valid license file. When you obtain your license file from us, the next step is to activate the license. This is done by a Python function set license, where you specify the path to your license file as an argument. It is important that you always activate the license at the beginning of your Python script before calling any other mcell Python function, since almost all the mcell Python functions check the license before they run. In the folder examples, we have several examples of mcell scripts. For example, here is a script generating GDS files for a set of 101 transformers. And here we see that at the beginning, after importing mcell and some other libraries which the script is using, we see the set license being called. The argument of the function is the path to the license file. If I comment this line with set license, that is, if I don't set the license at the beginning of the script, the remaining mcell functions in the script cannot run, and I get an error message. So let's try it out. First, I go to the examples folder, and then I try to run the script. You see I get the error message that the license is not available. Now I will uncomment the line with set license. The license is now properly set, so I can run the script. And the script is running now. You can see that it has created the folder GDS, and within it the GDS files for various versions of 101 transformer with specified parameters. When setting the license, it is generally recommended to specify the full path of the license file. The example I have shown to you is for a node license. If you're using a floating license, instead of specifying the path to the license, you need to specify the IP address and port of the server at which the floating license is installed. For example, like this. Also, when using a floating license, the license status can be checked. That is displayed on the screen by running an executable file name mstatus. The file is located in the same folder as the mhostid executable file mentioned before. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching this tutorial.